to the second episode of Local Legends. I am here with Ethan, known online as Fever. Tang, to the show. Um, so just a little bit of background on our guest today. He does production for a lot of the New Jersey scene and just the broader like fighting game scene in general. He has been working on Iron Grid now for what is it, a year and a half, almost 2 years coming up.
Not even a year and a half. I think I would say like maybe maybe like a year already.
So, yeah, a fantastic contributor, an absolute wizard in audio technical equipment, knows obviously much more than me. But yeah, let's get started with a couple of questions that I've got here prepared for you. What first got you into broadcasting and the whole live production scene?
So it started off in 2022 with Psycho Summit, a small burger joint in Springfield. I would just pull up to a few of their events because they started having like Smash tournaments and all that. Because at the time I was heavily competing in Smash Brothers Ultimate. Uh, I decide to help out by bringing my setup to the event every time. I was then asked by the TO or the owner of the local if I was down to work with him, and I said, yeah, sure, I can help with that. So from then on, I've kind of just learned about like from the time there, they've taught me a bit about how to run a stream a little bit, how to like edit scoreboards edit numbers, like update numbers on the scoreboards for players and such. And then eventually, I met this person named Vincenzo, or the Italian Panda, as they know him online. He is an actual like professional broadcast producer who basically taught me like most of the tech that I know today. I've worked with him a few times for some of his own events too. We work with each other, we exchange ideas and such. And then after that, I kind of just delved into the FGC heavily when Street Fighter 6 came out.
Yeah, so you've been working with us on events like Iron Grid, you did Butterfly Effect a while back, and you've done a couple of events for Rutgers Esports here and there. So, what is your favorite part of the process? What is your favorite part of broadcasting and live event streaming?
Honestly, I think like everyone else watching a stream, I think my favorite part of running the whole thing is just running the show. Setup and teardown takes some effort because I have to bring out all the equipment and set it all up. But once I like finally get to like sit down and start the show, that's when like all the magic happens. Because I'm the producer, I'm in charge of just like choosing what to display, what to show off, anything I want to capture. That's part of the event, of course. Basically, like any other person, just running the show, watching the whole thing with unfold with my own eyes. It's That's my favorite part to do, especially when a crowd gets wild, when they get like rowdy, wild, cheering on for someone. Like that's something I really love watching.
Oh, absolutely. Live events just have this energy that can't be replicated online. And so, like you said, you're the producer. What kinds of things do you take into account when considering a live show and what you want to showcase?
As for things I take into consideration, uh, I take I take into consideration just like when possible, try to show off the players as much as possible, whether it be like just showing them off on the camera on the stream, anything to highlight regarding like these individuals as well, like tournament stats, what characters they play and such, any like possible recent matchups. This is all data that I like showing off on the stream, and I just try to highlight everyone like in whether they hop on the stream or not.
Yeah, you're basically a storyteller. To you, what is the importance of I guess like capturing these kinds of like moments and to like broadcast them to essentially the world because you obviously broadcast on Twitch, on YouTube. Most recently, you tried out Twitter streaming at the past Iron Grid, which I think went off fantastically.
Obviously, the stream is being broadcasted like basically worldwide, and there's gonna be tons of people watching it. I just want people to see like how big and how crazy the NJFGC is. Not only just the NJFGC, we also have like people coming from basically tri-state. Like we have people from like New York, Pennsylvania, and Philly, the Philly region, and also like sometimes Connecticut. We have players from like all over like the country who would pull up to these events. And like one of the reasons why I do this type of like storytelling is so I can highlight how grand the NJFGC is for an outsider's perspective. Because to me, I think people see NJ as like it's one of the states with one of the fighting game communities ever, and then people just like mainly talk. I see people like mainly talk about like New York and like uh, Philadelphia and such, but not really much as New Jersey. And basically, when it just reaches out, when I broadcast it, and basically, if people like what they see, they'd want to support and maybe even go to the event, like watch. They'd want to watch a stream. They'd want to share it around and such, and eventually, just the whole thing gets more traction. Honestly, I just like seeing, I just like seeing big number go up. I really like when people sometimes go into the stream, like drop like a little compliment, like I like the stream so far. I also like watch the chat a little while running the show, while running the shows a little, and it puts me some joy when I see like people appreciate the work I put into uh, these broadcasts.
Yeah. The work that you do is so immensely challenging, and obviously you've built quite a varied skill set in the time that you've been doing this. What is the most challenging broadcast, and how did you overcome these challenges? What was like the most difficult thing for you?
I have to think because there's a lot of events that I've done. Uh, Honestly, I think the hardest one would be this one Smash regional event I did back in June of last year, called Failsafe Finale. So what happened there basically was I was approached by my friend Vincenzo, as I've mentioned before. He asked if I was gonna be around or available for that event, and I said, "Yeah, what's up?" And he basically said to me, That's cool. I'm gonna be running a side stream there at that event, and I was wondering if you would be there to help me a little bit if possible." And I said, "Yeah, I can do that." So the day of that event, I pull up and I say hi to Vinny and I watch him do his side stream stuff for a little bit. And keep in mind, there's two streams going on. There's a main stream and a side stream. The main stream producer is one of the tournament's own producers, where he brought like all his equipment and such. Later on, after like I met the guy and we talked for a bit, he then asked me if I wanted to run the main stream because he had a pretty rough day. He was coming back from like he was basically coming back from a flight, so he was like very tired. You think I can do this? You would you trust me on this? And he said yeah. So basically from there, it kind of just went. There's a lot of things I had to micromanage on that stream because it was very different from the usual stuff that I do. I had to not only manage like not only did I have to manage like uh the stream, like running the show on the stream, uh I also had to manage listing down stuff for this one organization. Let's just Okay, so let's just say the stream was going let's just say the whole event was streamed to VG Bootcamp, one of the largest scenes and channels for just for competitive Super Smash Brothers. I was tasked with running their stream. So not only did I have to run like the show with like switching through scenes, switching through cameras, updating scoreboards, I also had to abide by their rules of just like basically streaming guidelines, what to do, what not to do, uh, run just managing their Twitch channel at the same time as running the stream is a lot of work. And not only that, it was also my first time like actually actively working with someone who would be holding like a wireless camera.
I have one final question for you. Thank you so much. I know this is not your usual position. You're always the man behind the camera. I guess like also behind the mics and all the equipment as well. So putting you at the forefront, I know it's very out of your scope of comfort, but what advice would you give to newcomers or to people wanting to start broadcasting events? How would they go about it?
Okay. So one piece of advice I would give to newcomers wanting to get into this is just start with what you're comfortable with first. Like at first, like there's a time where I ran a stream for a tournament, well, a stream for my own tournament where I knew nothing about like how to update scoreboards properly and such. I did it all just from changing text in the stream program in OBS. You have to invest in a lot of equipment. Start small, start with what you're comfortable with. Uh, from then on, like there's also like tons of online resources available for someone to wanting to start into this event production. One program in particular that has basically carried me all the way through called Tournament Stream Helper. It's a program uh, that lets you add overlays to your stream, add like scoreboard overlays to your stream, anything, update scores, fetch data from players. It does all of that very easily. I still use it to this day in my streams. If you if you know how to use the software, then and you look at some of my overlays, like you'll see what I'm talking about. But I guess start small, start with what you're comfortable with. It does not matter how much equipment you have or what type of equipment you have. It's about how you use the equipment. And I think, because obviously, like for someone wanting to like start into this, like sometimes there's a chance where you might not have like the sufficient equipment. Basically, all you have to do is just start start at your own pace. Go at your own pace. Start with what you're comfortable with. Uh, and yeah, that's basically it.
All right, Fever, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your continued dedication to Iron Good and to New Jersey's fighting game scene. Before I let you go, is there anything you want to plug? Your socials, Twitch, Twitter, maybe? The floor is yours. Go right ahead.
If I were to plug anything, I would probably just say Twitter at 0xfever. I'm not really active on there as much, but it's just a way to. I guess it's just a way to keep in touch with me. Any questions regarding production, or just want to say hi, or just like talk with me, like I'm open to. Anything else I would want to plug? Probably just stuff for events for like next upcoming events like Iron Grid. Obviously, just watch the stream there. It should be on twitch.tv/Sinister Shadow Studios. That's where you'll see most of my work being shown off, whether it be like uh whether it be like something professional or something I'm just messing around with for fun. It's always going to be something like something related to these events, these locals that we have in New Jersey.
Alrighty, thank you so much, and will see you in the next episode where